So Harold Bloom, we will be speaking about, that's a watch, which any good psychoanalyst would have. And I was about to say to you that we will speak about...
You intend to analyze me?
I don't intend to analyze you, but I do intend to keep...
Many years ago, I think it must have been about 40-odd years ago, alas, he's gone now, the distinguished Dr. Theodore Litz, L-I-D-Z, highly orthodox Freudian analyst, dismissed me after a year and a half to my chagrin, saying that I was paying him for him to listen to me lecture him on the right way to read Freud. And when I said it was really rather unfair of him, particularly his insisting we were not going to go on, he said, well, he said, there has been absolutely no transference whatsoever. I said, I'm very fond of you. He said, that's not the same thing.
You have said, without any hesitation, that Walt Whitman is the greatest American poet.
Walt Whitman is more than the greatest American poet. He is...
I'm sorry, more.
Well, he's more than that. He is, I think, the finest, strongest imaginative writer of the entire New World in any of the languages in which traditional literature has been written in the Western Hemisphere over the past 4 centuries, be it Spanish, Portuguese, French, English. We have to be highly selective. There are 6 major long poems: Song of Myself, The Sleepers, Crossing Brooklyn Ferry, the 2 great sea dirge pieces, As I Ebbed with the Ocean of Life and Out of the Cradle Endlessly Rocking. And there is the magnificent elegy for Lincoln, When Lilacs Last in the Dooryard Bloomed. Then there are perhaps 30 or 40 shorter poems or a fragment of that eminence. And then there are about 500 or 600 pages of garbage. But unfortunately, the little selection just given is part of that 500 or 600 pages. But the quality of the 6 great poems and, as I say, the 40 or 50 fragments or shorter poems is simply beyond anyone, beyond Emily Dickinson, beyond Wallace Stevens, beyond Pablo Neruda. You name whoever you want to name. But one has to be a little bit selective. But you know, look at William Wordsworth. Everything that Wordsworth is perhaps an even greater poet than Walt Whitman, though it hurts me to say so. Everything that matters by Wordsworth was written in one great decade, 1795 to 1805. After that, he went on for 45 more years, writing absolute blather, 700 or 800 pages of it. In the same way, with Walt Whitman, almost everything is written in 10 years, 1855 to 1865, and that's it. But you know, it's that kind of a phenomenon with poets. They each had a great decade.
I wanted us to, the selection may not have been good, but I wanted us to hear the voice, even though the voice...
Who spoke that, anyway?
Walt Whitman.
Oh, that was the voice himself?
Yes.
Play it again, I want to hear it. I was just thinking what a bad reader, but I will listen more carefully.
Play it again and louder, please.
America, center of equal daughters, equal sons, all alike and dear, grown, ungrown, young or old, strong, ample, fair, enduring, capable, rich, perennial with the earth, with freedom, law, and love.
Well, it doesn't improve the quality of the verse, but the voice. It's very good to know that I have finally heard the voice of Walt Whitman after all these years. But now let's get to the business at hand, please. I'm old and I may collapse at any second.
Do you fear that the art of reading is a dying art?
No. I never learned to type, so my wife does the email, poor thing. And we get endless email from people I will never meet, and we can't reply to them all, from all over the world, saying that they too are reading away and they don't care about political correctness, and really comes from the strangest countries. No, their solitary reading is an endowment. Perhaps indeed it is a fate. For all I know, it may in the end prove a torment, or it may prove a great comfort. But solitary reading will survive everything. There will always be young men and young women, or children, who will go off by themselves and read and learn even to read out loud to themselves. It would certainly help if after that they can get a teacher or two.
In your new magnificent book, which I would like to very highly recommend.
Could you just say new book? Well, to call it magnificent is premature. Besides, it's already under vicious attack. One review in the countercultural sort of a journal, the something or other of higher education. Higher education indeed, ha ha ha, which said it was not only slapdash, but like everything else I'd done since the 1980s, was written only to earn money, at which I remembered the magnificent Dr. Samuel Johnson, my true precursor, if only I were worthy of him. No one but a blockhead would write for anything except money, which is the last word.